From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
News Hour tonight. Troops neutralize scores of terrorists, recover arms and motorcycles in Kaduna State. Nigerian Labour Congress asks President Buhari to raise salaries by 50%. Minister threatens revocation of Chinese railway contract. And on the foreign scene, Kenya gets historic number of female governors from August 9th elections. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Hour. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Troops of the Operation Forest Sanity, supported by assets of the Nigerian Air Force, have neutralized scores of bandits at an operation in Galibi, Chukun local government area of Kaduna State. This follows a clearance operation on an identified terrorist enclave in Galibi general area. This was conveyed in an operational feedback to the Kaduna State government from the security agencies. A statement from the Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, said 2 general-purpose machine guns, 3 AK-47 rifles, and 7 motorcycles were recovered from the enclave of the neutralized bandits. The Kaduna State government expressed excitement at the feedback and praised the troops for their tenacity in what it's called a significant victory against enemy forces. Meanwhile, the 35 persons kidnapped 3 weeks ago at KKB, Millennium City, Kaduna State, have regained their freedom. The victims came back to the KKB community on Saturday and were received by jubilant neighbors. It was gathered that one person is still in captivity because the bandits insisted that his family must purchase 2 motorcycles before he is freed. A community leader who pleaded anonymity said 2.5 million naira was paid for their release. In another development, medical personnel and 15 others who were kidnapped in the Sabongero community of Kaduna have also regained their freedom. The leader of the Civilian Joint Task Force in the community, Waisu Yunusa, disclosed this in an interview on Saturday. Yunusa, however, said that no ransom was given for their release. The chairman, Kaduna State Council of National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Ishaku Yakubu, narrowly escaped being kidnapped when gunmen suspected to be kidnappers attacked him at Marabarido area of the state. Secretary of the association in Kaduna, Christiana John Bawa, in a statement on Saturday, said bullets from the suspected kidnappers hit the front passenger seat of the vehicle, but did not hit the chairman. Bawa, while thanking the Almighty for saving the life of the chairman who escaped unhurt, decried the worsening security situation in the state. She advised residents to always watch out for criminals and other bad elements in the state. Gunmen have reportedly killed no fewer than 16 persons in different communities of Taraba State. The gunmen who stormed the communities at the weekend and whisked away several persons attacked Gidado and Garinkuka villages in Gunduma district of Mutumbiu Chiefdom in Gasol local government area. A staff of the local government, who gave his name as Abdullahi Chul, said the attackers invaded the communities in their numbers and accessed the villages with motorbikes. Also confirming the report, the police public relations officer Abdullahi Usman admitted that there was an attack on the council and assured that the command was on top of the situation. Meanwhile, terrorists numbering about 40 attacked Kankia town again, abducting a woman and her 18-year-old daughter. The terrorists stormed Sabor Abuja quarters in Kankia town and attacked Sani Adore's house, where they abducted his wife and his daughter. Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi reports that when the terrorists arrived the area on Friday, they started shooting sporadically into the air to scare residents. This is the second time in 10 days the terrorists are attacking Kankia town and abducting hostages. In the meantime, the 2 children and a housewife abducted from Tsohor Kaswa, Kankia, just last week still remain in captivity. Residents are calling for the deployment of more security operatives to the area to prevent escalation of the ugly trend. Earlier, we spoke to Abdullahi Yamadi in a phone call, and he gave us an update on the security situation in Katsina.
Well, Kankia happens to be one of the areas that was known as to be peaceful. But the increasing attacks on the area may likely be due to ACP Aminu Umar, the late area commander Duzema, who was killed recently. We are beginning to see this infiltration of terrorists just recently when he was, I think when he was alive, peaceful, because he worked very hard to fight this terrorism. Now in less than 10 days, like you said, the terrorists attacked twice. The first one at Overkas Wakankia, where they abducted the wife of one Mani Baba and the two children of one Lilu. And the latest one was carried out today, that is Friday, around 1 at Sabon Abuja Kankia. You see, here they abducted wife of one Sani Adawi, and of course his daughter. The increasing abductions and killings, areas that were hitherto peaceful, has thrown some kind of fears and apprehension, as well as tension in the minds of people. Now, if you go to Shola quarters here in Katsina Metropolis, and of course Sabongida, all in Katsina Metropolis, what you will see there are empty houses because people have fled to other areas that are presumed to be more peaceful. Sometimes the abductions come with some kind of doubts. Terrorists will abduct people, but even if they pay ransom, their family members will not be. Most of them will be held in captivity. Meaning that both the victim and the family members that went to pay the ransom will be held hostages. This is a kind of thing that people are beginning to see nowadays. And we have where in Bobodoga village of Watagara local government, two children of an abductee went to pay 2 million naira ransom. Since 6 days ago now, but till date, nothing was heard about the two children. The all efforts to get them on phone proved abortive. The terrorist contact number was also off. This has thrown to another tension and confusion. So there are criminalities almost everywhere. Hardly without hearing a report of attack, abduction, armed robbery, or animal wrestling in Katsina State.
And 6 people are feared dead and 7 missing after members of the Odua People's Congress, OPC, and Fulani cow sellers clashed at the Kara market in Ajashepu, Kwara State. The market is usually busy every 5 days, mainly for cow buyers across Kwara State. On Friday, one of the market days, the influx of buyers led to a traffic congestion. And according to the Sarki of the market, the side mirror of one of the vehicles of the OPC members who were returning from the just concluded Oshun Oshogbo River Festival was broken either by a drunken commercial motorcyclist or a buyer transporting a cow. An official of the Miyetti Allah Association said 6 corpses have been recovered, 7 missing and 17 others receiving treatment for various degrees of injuries. The police in a statement confirmed the incident but said only 4 persons died. The Nigeria Labour Congress has recommended a 50% salary review across board given the economic realities on ground. The Labour Union made the recommendation in a letter dated August 8th to President Muhammadu Buhari in response to the economic prescriptions offered by state governors. The governors had pushed for the elimination of petrol subsidy, the retirement of civil servants from age 50, and the reduction of the National Assembly constituency projects, amongst others. The union lambasted the governors for seeking early retirement of workers, saying anyone promoting this idea should be treated as an enemy of government. Instead of early retirement, the union asked the Buhari-led administration to consider a further increase in the salary of workers. Now, a 50-year-old man, Dauda Ibrahim from Ida in Ida local government area of Kogi State, has been arrested for alleged kidnapping and killing of his 15-year-old daughter, Sharifa, for rituals. The suspect, who is said to be a staff of the Federal Polytechnic Ida, was alleged to have conspired with two people, Isa Adams and one Ada, to perpetrate the act. According to reports, the late Sharifa was said to have been kidnapped on the 4th of August 2022 at their residence in Okenya along Itai Street of Igalamela local government area of the state. It was gathered that the remains of the deceased were discovered in a shallow grave a few days after her disappearance, with the body mutilated and some vital organs missing. The Kogi State Police Command has confirmed the incident, saying the suspect and his accomplices have been arrested. President Muhammadu Buhari has again appealed to the Academic Staff Union of Universities to call off the lingering strike to avoid a total collapse of the education sector. The president stated this at the sole convocation ceremony of the University of Maiduguri for the conferment of a doctorate degree on Alhaji Muhammadu Ndimi. President Buhari, who was represented by his Chief of Staff, Ibrahim Gambari, said the continuous strike undermines the nation's human capital development. He added that Nigerians should disregard the belief that insecurity thrives under the present administration, but rather appreciate the peace experienced in the country. Present at the event were former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Nigeria's First Lady, Aisha Buhari.
The work to tackle insecurity and to transform our infrastructure must necessarily happen concurrently. No government anywhere in the world will suspend one for the other. The hard work to make Nigeria a more secure country is an ongoing one, and the result will emerge steadily and incrementally. As real progress has been made and is being made in resolving the contentious issues that separate the federal government negotiators from the ASU leaders. In this regard, the continuation of ASU strike is now clearly counterproductive. Students wish to return to classes. Their parents want their children to do so without any further delay. This nation cannot afford prolonged interruption of higher education for its youth, and thus undermine the development of our human capital.
Universities to urgently resolve the ongoing stalemate in the overall best interest of our country, parents and students. The continuous closure of the universities is causing irreversible damage to the future of our students and the reputation of our country in general.
Now, there are strong indications that the federal government may terminate the rail contract it awarded the China Civil Engineering and Construction Company, CCECC, over the firm's failure to provide 85% counterpart fund for the project. The Minister of Transportation, Muazu Sambo, made this disclosure on Saturday while briefing newsmen in Lagos at the end of a tour of the Lekki deep sea port to ascertain the level of work done so far. Sambo, who frowned at the attitude of the Chinese firm, said 2 years after the agreement was signed, CCECC is yet to provide $1 out of its own 85% counterpart fund. According to him, the agreement stipulates that CCECC are to provide 85% of the project cost, while government provides the remaining 15%. You're watching Trust TV News Hour. And still to come on the news, relationships and secrecy about phone content. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us.
That's great.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Hour. Now another look at our top stories. Troops neutralize scores of terrorists and recover arms and motorcycles in Kaduna State. And Nigeria Labour Congress asks President Buhari to raise salaries by 50%. Now, moving on to other news. The Zamfara state government has embarked on the reconstruction of 5 broken bridges across 4 local government areas of the state, including the 500-meter access road to Staff School of the 1 Brigade of the Nigerian Army Cantonment, Gusau, to make movement easy for residents. The State Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperative, Abdullahi Gurbimbori, disclosed this while addressing newsmen during the flag-off of the construction site of the 500-meter access road in the 1 Brigade Cantonment of the Nigerian Army, Gusau. The report.
According to the Zamfara State Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperative, the 5 collapsed bridges which the state government is reconstructing are Megongumi Villages Bridge and Tofa Bridge in Maru Local Government, Nasarawa Bukulu Bridge in Bukuyum, Ruangora Bridge in Talata, Mafara, as well as Gayari in Gumi Local Government area of the state. It has also started the construction of a 500 meters access road to Staff School of 1 Brigade of the Nigerian Army Cantonment Gusau. Gurbimbori disclosed that the state government had earmarked 700 million naira for the project.
A bridge after Burusu in Bukum local government before you reach Nasara Burkundu. Immediately you pass out of Burusu, there is a broken dam bridge there. As you are all aware, Burusu is the commercial capital of Bukum local government. So there are complaints from that area, and His Excellency directed us to go to our engineers and assess the damage. And it is going to be taken care of, inshallah. We are going to start work by Monday there.
The Zamfara State Commissioner Abdullahi Gurbimbori said the work would be carried out through direct labor to save cost, noting if awarded to a contractor, it would cost the state government 5 billion naira.
Christian and Muslim communities of Doroa Babuji in Barkilladi local government area of Plateau State have been reunited after 13 years of separation. This follows the awarding of some projects by the Community and Social Development Agency in partnership with the community, which requires the combined efforts of both faiths to execute. The relationship between Christians and Muslims of the community got sore in 2009, following the recurrence of ethno-religious crisis that engulfed Jos since 2001 and subsequently extended to various communities. Ado Musa completes the report.
Began when the Community and Social Development Agency awarded projects including school, water and renovation of a hospital. Apart from the financial contribution, the members of the community, religion notwithstanding, had to collaborate to ensure proper execution of the project. The chairman, Community Development Association Oron Babuje, Job Cholom, while expressing happiness during the commencement of the building, says although the crisis has affected them, they have decided to reunite and live with one another, adding that the coming of residents of the community as a family would undoubtedly bring progress of the area.
We have decided to remain united so that we'll be able to see development in our land, we'll bring development in our area. Though crisis affected us in one way or the other, but we really thank God that He has reunited us. All of us here, we're not talking of tribes, we're not talking of religion, we're all together. We're working hand in hand with one another to see if we'll be able to do one or two things for the development of our area. Now we have applied for an assistance from government for the execution of this project of primary school, a 2-classroom block, which has been approved, and so we are doing our own part as a community.
On his part, the traditional ruler of Hausa community, Muhammad Tanko, said the awarding of the project has reunited the community and pledged to sustain the peace. We are happy with the project. This is what we can contribute at our level for the development of the community. Now peace has returned to Doroa. We are living in peace. If you look around now, you will see both Christians and Muslims working together. We'll continue to do whatever would bring peace in this community. We pray to Allah to help us achieve our desired goal. The village head, Sambo Cholom, said he was happy that the project was awarded to his community and appreciated members of the community for their cooperation and togetherness.
Actually, I'm so very excited because as this project came to my community, we received this project with our whole heart, and the community people really appreciated the coming of this project. That's why you can see from observation, as we just announced yesterday that people should come, and the announcement didn't even go anywhere, but a lot of people came and they were participating, working with their hearts. Hopefully they will see what they were looking for seeing.
Other residents of the area expressed hope that the coming of the project in the community would strengthen the relationship among the residents of the community. From Jos, Ado Musa reporting for Trust TV.
Now, the need for the youth to consider the character and competence of candidates before voting in the next general election has again been stressed. This is the consensus of speakers at two different events marking the International Youth Day in Kwara State. The report.
The International Youth Day was celebrated at two different venues in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. One inside the Government House Banquet Hall and the other at a private event center in Ilorin. Governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak noted that having a vibrant and young population as a nation is an opportunity for growth and prosperity which youths need to explore.
International Youth Day serves as a good platform to interrogate all the issues affecting the most important demographic group anywhere in the world. However, there's nowhere in the world where there are no conversations about the future of the young people, which is very important and urgent to us all. United Nations data affirms that Africa has the youngest population, with 70% of sub-Saharan Africans under the age of 30. This is certainly an opportunity for growth and prosperity. We need to concentrate on human capital development.
No matter what life throws at you, don't die. You must have a sense as an entrepreneur and as a young person from Africa that life, in particular in this part of the world, is full of challenges.
At the other Youth Day celebration, speakers harped on the need for youths to look out for certain sterling qualities in leaders such as character, courage, and competence.
Well, you call it the 3 C's: character, courage, and competence. But I would say that character will still come first. Because where we are as a country, we are lucky that in a few months' time, we have an opportunity to press a reset button. And it's time that we look at ourselves and say, which of our leaders have this character?
That the demography of most countries of the developing world is tilting towards the youth. However, for most of these countries, the burgeoning youth population presents two possibilities. It could yield great dividends for those countries if governments and policymakers make the necessary investment in the development of our youth.
The theme for this year's International Youth Day is intergenerational solidarity, creating a world for all ages.
And in commemoration of the International Youth Day, development partners in the agricultural sector have organized a youth summit to help address challenges faced by young farmers in agribusiness. Stakeholders in the sector encourage youth and women to take advantage of the diverse opportunities and modern technology available to foster growth and economic stability. Aisha Salihu reports.
As the world's youth population continues to grow significantly, employment and entrepreneurial opportunities for youth, especially those living in developing countries' rural areas, remain limited, poorly remunerated, and of poor quality. Some of the major challenges faced are limited access to land, inadequate access to financial services, limited access to markets, and involvement in policy dialogue. Hence, the Agricultural Youth Summit suggesting sustainable solutions for economic growth through increased participation in agribusiness.
Instead of people thinking that agriculture is a rural thing, most of the youth are already in the town. So we try to show them how to do urban farming. Okay, with small space, small amount of money, within the cities they can become farmers. Government can create some waivers or some subsidies for young people so that instead of paying full rates, they can pay like 50%. And there will be an incentive for them.
Agriculture is the mainstay of the Nigerian economy, and there are lots of prospects. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you the benefits and the level of employability of agriculture and farming generally. The future of Nigeria agriculture, agriculture globally, and especially Nigeria, information and communication technology have a vital role to play in all this.
Although the role of women and smallholder farmers in agriculture cannot be denied, calls have been made to address the gap and promote inclusion of young women in agribusiness for economic empowerment.
For the women, it's always a very limited window for them, especially the young women in agribusiness. They need more motivation, more. It's not all about capacity building, but we need more like financial inclusion. We need more inclusiveness. We need more information.
Established 6 agricultural training schools in the 6 agroecological zones of Nigeria. So each school has capacity to admit at least 150 farmers and youths every year. So we've been churning out on average 700 youths that have gone through our training.
In order to enhance youth involvement in agriculture, stakeholders believe increased financing input in agricultural investments will boost youth agricultural ventures using technology to reduce drudgery-prone farming activities. Identifying the skill gaps and implementing agribusiness-friendly policies will also go a long way in changing the face of agriculture. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, deaths and breakup could be avoided if lovers are honest with each other. Ever since the internet became a regular part of the human experience, cyberspace has been implicated in the breakup of marriages and relationships. Part of this is because the internet and cell phone secrecy is a big issue. Phone messages and secrecy in marriage have resulted in deaths and breakups of beautiful unions over the years. Nana Mohammed takes a look at privacy and phone culture in Nigeria and the effects of secrecy on marriages and relationships. The report.
According to experts, knowing what to share and what not to share is an important communication skill for couples to learn and use in their marriage and relationships. This is because where privacy is about having a life that you don't share with others, secrecy is about intentionally hiding information. Married and single persons are split in their opinions on this subject and its impacts on relationships. Some believe locking one's phone means hiding something or cheating. It was necessary to disclose passwords to one or more members of the family in cases of emergency.
You expose your phone to your spouse and all of that, and you see your secret and you'll be thinking that, man, this is what I've been hiding and it's not good for some person. But if there is trust, I don't think there is any reason why my wife should not even hold my phone and even pick my call.
My opinion is that spouse should be open to each other when it comes to phone. Something that happened to a family friend sometimes because they couldn't access his phone. He lost his life. He was hospitalized. They needed to. He was unconscious. He cannot do anything. He cannot touch his phone or password. They couldn't withdraw money to give him a medical needs, that attention that he needs.
Others belong to the school of thought that being married or in a relationship does not necessarily mean sharing every single thought, dream, fear, or fantasy with spouses. In fact, honesty to them may be a double-edged sword in marriage.
When you started a relationship with your wife, if you are a kind of person that you allowed your wife to be checkmating your phone before you got married to her, and if you got married to her, she will still continue, and it will become a problem to you.
The fact is, if you can delete your messages, if you can delete messages from friends, from associates, so that your partner will not see it, that's even the beginning of lack of trust.
Phone secrecy. I think in the advent of this 21st century, phone secrecy has really, shall I say, scatter relationship and marriage, because the need to know for spouses or partners has increased. Awareness is more compared to before. So because of that, because people are more curious, they want to know what their partners are doing, and oftentimes at the end of the day, what they will find when they search too much is not palatable. It has increased probably the incidence of broken relationships or marriages.
The good, the bad, and the ugly sides of privacy in relationships may be recognized as potential threats. But these threats may not be the latest technology. Rather, it is the choices made by individuals, both online and offline. Nana Muhammad, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Media practitioners in Nigeria have advised governments to consider the younger ones that are mainly casual staff for recruitment in government-owned media houses. They gave the advice after the quarterly Congress of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Bauchi State Council. Adam Imam completes the report.
Media managers at the event made a case for the state government to address the deterioration in the two state-owned media outfits, especially the lack of manpower to handle equipment.
The information I had, about 10 or 12 people will be retiring this year in DRC. That is between now and the end of the year. BATV, similar number of people. For BATV, where I came from, I know when I left BATV, there were only about 70-something staff. And after me, many of them have retired and are still retired. I want to appeal to government, like I said, and we have people that we call casual. Some of them have been working with us for over 10 years, some even 15 years. So all you need to do is give them employment letter and they will fit into this organization. So we're appealing to the government to allow the media organization kind of consider special approval for the employment and statement of these people as permanent and pensionable staff of these organizations.
Chairman, Bauchi State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Umar Said, cautioned reporters to exhibit professionalism in their reportage as 2023 general elections draw nearer.
We are approaching the 2023 general election in the country. They should play according to the rules. They should not play according to the interests of any political party or any politician. Rather, they should abide by the rules and regulations governing the profession. That is the journalism profession. That is my advice.
Broadcaster Halima Maigari said inclusiveness is the watchword for sustainability in the media for those who already have the experience.
Though we have tried, but I want them to try more, in the sense that they should continue to encourage, because there's still this gap. People who feel they are part of us, but they have some physical challenge, they say a lot. We want him to be more embracing so that those who have physical disability can also play their role very well, and then for the women, continue to tap on their potential. Something that certain committees are just for the men, the women should be included.
A communique issue after the meeting advised the state government to secure lives and properties of the citizenry. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Meanwhile, women in Katsina State are devising ways of becoming economically independent through production of handcrafts. Beautiful handmade products were showcased by women at an exhibition held in the state. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
These are some of the end products of Katsina State women as part of efforts to become gainfully employed and economically independent. The products are displayed here for 2 weeks as part of annual exhibition of handicrafts produced by women from the 34 local government areas of Katsina State. The products displayed are handmade bags, shoes, beddings, and other accessories.
Anytime a woman is empowered, she builds a peaceful and more economically viable home where the husband will be happier and at peace. I believe that your businesses have reduced financial burden on your husbands and has enabled you to pay the children's school fees.
The government is saying it encourages handcraft production and petty trades among women to increase their resilience and improve their socio-economic well-being. The government organized this trade fair to monitor women who are empowered by this administration and evaluate the success and problem areas with a view to correcting it to achieve the desired objective. Now we have success and problems, and we will act immediately. The government is also saying its empowerment programs are aimed at engaging women into small-scale businesses to enable them to participate actively in nation building. With little capital, we can achieve a lot. Think about it. Had it been we only gave them money without the skills, the story would have been different. Today, we are celebrating success. Stakeholders here are pledging to remain resolute in assisting women, especially those with special needs among them, to remove them out of poverty. Away from that, the women are given assurances to train more people in handcrafts production to attain a prosperous society. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And ahead of the forthcoming annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association, crisis has erupted within the leadership of the association. The annual general meeting, scheduled to hold during the annual General Conference, is the last AGM of the Akpata administration. However, in the early hours of Saturday, the General Secretary of the association, Joyce Odua, sent out an email asking members to disregard early notices of the annual general meeting of the association sent by her and the Assistant General Secretary, Uche Mwadialu. Hours after the email was sent to NBA members, the president of the NBA, Olumide Akpata, issued a disclaimer to the effect that the notice of withdrawal sent out by Odua was done without approval and consultation with the National Bar leadership. A Nigerian singer, Babatunde Ashafa, has raised concerns over the spread of fake news in the digital space in Nigeria. The singer, fondly known as Superstar Ambassador, said he will use music to help address the situation. Ashafa, who is on the platform of the Comrades Society Music during a press conference in Lagos, recently noted that fake news is a threat to democratic stability.
By fake news pushers. Fake news is a threat to democracy stability. B, fake news is a threat to growing economy. C, fake news is a threat to strong military force operations. D, fake news is a threat to patriotism. For us, we believe it is high time we all stand up against fake news before it destroys our national unity. That the music industry plays an important role in the socio-economic development of the society. We believe that through musical advocacy, there will be socialization, national integration, and development, and this will strengthen the fight against fake news.
You're still watching Trust TV News Hour. The news continues shortly. Do stay with us.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Hour. Now a look at business news, where the Nigeria Customs Service has announced that from January to June 2022, it generated 1.292 trillion naira as revenue on behalf of the federal government. National Public Relations Officer of the service, Timi Bomodi, made the announcement on Friday while announcing the half-year performance of the service at a press conference in Abuja. The revenue target given to the Nigeria Customs Service for the year 2022 is 3.019 trillion naira. The customs spokesman, however, noted that the service will soon commence the collection of telecommunication tax on behalf of the federal government as mandated. On its enforcement and anti-smuggling campaign, Bomodi further stated that there have been remarkable interventions in the anti-smuggling activities of the service, with the top 7 items seized being narcotics, foreign parboiled rice, and illegal imports of dangerous pharmaceuticals. The Bureau of Public Service Reform has reiterated the federal government's determination to support and strengthen digital services to provide timely and effective public service to Nigerians. Director General of the Bureau, Dasuki Arabi, said this at a training on National Digital Transformation and Data Protection Awareness organized by the Institute for Information Management on Friday in Abuja. President and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Institute, Oyedokun Oyewole, had earlier explained that the awareness campaign was to imbibe global best practices in data management. He said that the campaign was to further inform public servants on newly introduced services and needs.
This gesture will no doubt improve transparency and accountability in the service and to assist government with right quality as well as caliber of public service workforce relevant in this age and getting on site to provide the 21st century public service. It is also one of the most important critical factors for enhancing good governance and service delivery in the world and most especially in Nigeria. The National Data Transformation aims to improve the transparency, flexibility, reliability, and sustainability of digital services, as well as reduce digital services time and cost in line with the e-government master plan of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It also seeks to strengthen the public-private partnership support for getting the private sector to support government to design and develop the services that we are transiting from analog to digital. There are many benefits to complying with data protection laws. Good protection makes good economic sense because it saves time, money, and also shows citizens that you care about their information. It also builds trust, efficiency, prevents discrimination, and reduces risk of or harm to citizens of our great country. This is in line with the BPSR's vision of digital transformation of the public service, where data and innovation play pivotal roles as we strive to achieve a world-class public service by the year 2025. The public service stands to benefit immensely from IIM as an institution in keeping abreast of information and development strategy in relation to information management, security of information, adequate and effective information dissemination by training and retraining of personnel by IIM.
The initiative, which has actually started in 2020, we've taken to different ministries, departments, and agencies, educating government workers on the importance of data management and also to ensure that they have the basics in terms of data management, basic knowledge, and how they can harness data in ensuring that they are able to deliver on their individual mandates. This year, we also incorporated the data protection initiative campaign into this program, and that has afforded us the opportunity to raise awareness, for various government agencies to be aware of the newly introduced Nigerian Data Protection Regulation, which is already in force, and the NDPB, Nigerian Data Protection Bureau, is promoting in Nigeria. Ultimately, we expect the government of the day to support this initiative and ensure that it becomes institutionalized. And part of the way we expect the government to come in is by working with the institute and ensuring that.
And now for a look at the foreign scene, where at least 7 of Kenya's 47 incoming governors are women, compared with only 3 in the last government. That is according to the country's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. The results of the country's August 9th presidential election have yet to be announced as of Saturday afternoon. But from the 42 confirmed county results, there seemed to be history in the making. While tallying is ongoing in most constituencies across the country, women have also won 6 of the 290 seats in the incoming National Assembly so far. Despite nearly half of registered voters in the country being women, very few female leaders actually hold elective positions in Kenya. The rise in female governors from today's vote is a small but significant improvement over 2017, where 3 women were elected as governors. Meanwhile, in Afghanistan, Taliban fighters beat women protesters and fired into the air on Saturday as they violently dispersed a rare rally in the Afghan capital, days ahead of the first anniversary of the hardline Islamist return to power. Since seizing power on August 15th last year, the Taliban have rolled back the marginal gains made by women during the 2 decades of U.S. intervention in Afghanistan. Some women protesters who took refuge in nearby shops were chased and beaten by Taliban fighters with their rifles. The protesters carried a banner which read, "August 15th is a black day," as they demanded rights to work and political participation. And 4 people were killed while 9 others were injured in a flash flood in southwest China on Saturday, according to local authorities. Footage published by Chinese media showed water rising rapidly in a river on the outskirts of Sichuan province Pengzu city. Tourists who had been playing in the initial shallow water could be seen running for safety and clambering over rocks as the water rushed towards them, but some were unable to reach the riverbank in time. China's National Observatory has issued a red alert for high temperatures as the mercury is expected to soar past 40 degrees Celsius across swaths of the country this weekend. Severe flooding in southern China in June displaced more than 500,000 people and caused an estimated $250 million in economic damage. And in sports, Britain's Emma Raducanu will face a 23-time Grand Slam singles champion Serena Williams for the first time in her career on Sunday. The pair have been drawn together in the first round of the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati. Raducanu is preparing to defend her US Open title later this month. The winner will face either Victoria Azarenka or Kaya Kanepi in the second round of the Cincinnati tournament. Meanwhile, City FC of Abuja defeated FWC champions of Abuja in their last Nigeria National League home match played at the Area 10 football pitch on Saturday. Trust TV's Adeni Ajishafe has more.
Match day 17 in the Northern Conference Group A1 between City FC versus FWC champions started on the fast note as relegated FWC champions of Abuja gave a good fight in the first 20 minutes of the first half, holding Nigerian Professional Football League promotion-seeking City FC of Abuja. The game played until Hassan Mahmoud made a pull-out from the edge of the midfield to connect Godwin Frederick, who scored in the 25th minute, giving home team City FC the lead. City FC's Ekene Osigwe made it 2-0 in the 41st minute via a quick dribble to add more tally. Ekene Osigwe made it 3-0 immediately the second half kicked off in the 46th minute. The match ends in favor of City FC, maintaining 3-0 till end of match. City FC player who scored a brace in the match, Ekene Osigwe, says they were determined to win considering what is at stake.
The match is outstanding. We need these 3 points. Before the match started, they passed information to us that this is a must-win match. So I thank God for the win. I congratulate all my teammates and all my coaches for making this day possible for us. We are pushing towards promotion, and we know and we believe with Almighty God, we are going to accomplish our heart desire and accomplish our aim.
While coach of City FC, Sunday Oko, believes they will play their last match with tenacity to win after beating FWC champion.
My last match will determine, and I believe I'm going to conquer. Determination, self-control gave me the day.
Chairman City FC Chidi Emmanuel expressed joy that his team played the best football in the match in terms of performance.
This is the best game they've played so far in this season. What they played today, it's not about the goals, it's about the performance. It's about the people who think they are the first team in the team, think they are the all. These ones, none of them has played before. But we decided no. We registered 30 players. Everybody is equal to the task. So play the people who have not played, so the other people will sit up. And you can see the passion, the agility. That's the best football they played this season.
City FC now have 33 points as they face Mighty Jets in an away match at the New Jaw Stadium in their last match of this season. That's Sport News. I am Adeni Ajishafe.
Now, before we go, here is a kicker. In Tunisia, where recycling is almost non-existent, one of the country's few recycling companies sorts through mountains of plastic and cuts it into fine chips for industrial use. Let's take a look.
This is one of Tunisia's few existing recycling companies. It transforms mountains of plastic into industrial chips or granules. The company, called African Recycling, started in 2009. Today, it employs around 60 people, mostly women whose husbands are unemployed. Indirectly, the company gives an income to more than 200 people. Its owner, Tariq Masmoudi, has big ideas for the future.
This waste is an added value and we can create many jobs. We have a great lack of plastic waste in Tunisia. Instead of importing this waste from other countries and losing foreign currency, we can use it in Tunisia.
The vast majority of waste in Tunisia is buried at the cost of the taxpayer.
The state is paying about 150 to 200 dinars per ton to dump this waste in landfills and to transport it.
And that wraps Trust TV News Hour for tonight. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Have a good evening.